Yeah, it was a really exciting week. It's always fun to play your arch rival and to head into their territory and kind of put your talents to the test. And we actually had a really great week. And we got there over the weekend and got to play a great golf course. They have a phenomenal facility over there, and so it was a good chance to get over and see what they play on. But we started off I think a little slow in the first round, but we ended up having really strong finish by senior Olivia Weber, and Tara Green and Lindsay Reeve also had good rounds in the first round. We're just learning the golf course. It's a very narrow, kind of an old style type of course, so it was really a lot of a learning curve for our girls to really learn where they can and can't hit the ball. But we had some good performances during that round that we really wanted to build on once we got done as we headed into the second round. We got there in the morning of the second round. It was a little chilly, and I think we got off to a little bit of a slow start. It was a little sluggish, but we ended up coming back with a really strong backside. Another great performance by Olivia Weber. Had a really good performance by freshman Kyla Clancy, had a 76 that round, and a good strong performance by our sophomore Tara Green. So we really had some good leadership on the back nine and really finishing out the second round, allowing us to only be 4 shots behind the Bobcats as we headed into the third round. So we got up on the morning of the third round and we had a little team meeting and talked about the things that we really wanted and what we were going to focus on. And as we got going in the morning, I think, again, we kind of had a moderate start. I think everybody was nervous and everybody was really wanting to put a good round together so we could finish on top, but we ended up working out the jitters and the nerves, and we moved into the middle 6 holes is where we really made a strong move. We had a lot of birdies and had some really good pars on some tough holes, and I really saw some good performances by both our freshmen, Kyla Clancy and Haley Bingham, and also just some really solid play by Tara Green and Olivia Weber as well. And then we headed into the final 6 holes, and I could tell it was coming down going to be pretty close between us and Utah Valley, but it's always so hard to tell when you're out there, but the girls were handling it very well. They were playing hard and fighting hard all the way to the end. I saw some really good pars when the nerves were really all jacked up, so it was nice to see them hold themselves well under pressure, and we got to the final hole, and it was really exciting for me as a coach to watch Olivia Weber close out her first win. I think she knew where she stood with Paige Crawford in her group, but was unsure about Sadie Palmer from Southern Utah, so it was exciting for her to know where she stood a little bit, but be able to hold on in the end and have a good, strong finish and clinch her first victory. So we got done with that, celebrated Olivia's win, and everybody was pretty excited, and we looked at the leaderboard and did a little math calculation quickly and figured out that we had tied for the lead, and we were in a tie with Utah Valley, so there was going to be a sudden death playoff. And the girls were pretty excited, a little nervous as well. They hadn't been in a playoff in a team style before, and it's a unique format where our 5-4-3 player will play with the 5-4 of Utah Valley, and then in the second group, our 1 and 2 player played with 1-2-3 of Utah Valley. So you're playing half your team, half the opponent's team, so it's kind of an interesting dynamic, not only because you're playing with your own teammates, but you're playing just with a large group as well, much more players in a group than you would in a regular format. So we teed off. The younger players, it actually worked out that the 2 freshmen and our transfer, Lindsay Reeve, were in the first group. So I went down with them. They all played wonderfully. They were nervous, but they had a lot of adrenaline going, so they were excited to be there, and ended up making, we had 2 pars and a birdie. We had Haley Bingham, our freshman, make a birdie, and we all got done with that hole and waited for the group behind us and watched Olivia and Tara make 2 great pars, and that allowed us to clinch the win by 1 shot. They had made 4 pars and a bogey, and we had 4 pars and a birdie. So we ended up winning the team title, and it was just an exciting time for the girls. It's always fun to win the first one, and if it wasn't the first one, it's always fun to win your first one as a head coach. But I think for the girls too, we hadn't won in about 6 years, so it was kind of exciting for our program to get another victory on the board.